Om Shanti. This is the Sakar Murli of Wednesday, the 31st of July 2019. The essence is, sweet children, the festival of Raksha Bandhan, which begins at the confluence age, is the festival of making a promise. Pratigya. You now promise to become pure and enable others to become pure. The question is, on what basis, on what adhar can all your tasks be successful? How will your name be glorified? Be Bala? The answer is, along with the power of knowledge, Gyan Bal, you have to have the power of Yog. Yog Bal, everyone will then automatically become ready to do all the tasks. Yoga is very incognito, bahut bhut. Through this you become the masters of the world. When you explain whilst in yoga, newspaper people will automatically print your message. It will be through the newspapers that your name will be glorified. Many will receive the message through them. Om Shanti. Today Baba will explain to the children about Raksha Bandhan. Because it is coming close, you children go to Taraki. On others, the festivals that are celebrated now are of the things that happened in the past. You children know that you were asked to write a letter and make this promise 5,000 years ago as well. This has been given many different names. This is a symbol of purity, a nishani of pavitrata. You have to tell everyone to have a Raki of becoming pure tide. You also know that the pure world starts at the beginning of the Golden Age. The festival of Raki begins at this most auspicious confluence age. It is later celebrated when the path of devotion begins. This is called an eternal festival, Anadi Parva. When does that begin? On the path of devotion, because there are no festivals. In the Golden Age, they exist here. All the festivals take place at this Sangam Yoga. They will then start again on the path of devotion. There are no festivals in the Golden Age. You may ask, will there be Dipmala in the Golden Age? No, that too is celebrated here. It will not be celebrated there. That which you celebrate here will not be celebrated there. All of these festivals are of the Iron Age. People celebrate Raksha Bandhan. Now, how can they know why Rakhi is celebrated? You go and tie a Rakhi on everyone. You tell them become pure, because the pure world has been established. It is written on the picture of the Trimurti. The establishment of the pure world takes place through Brahma. This is why the tying a Rakhi to become pure is celebrated. This is now the time of the path of knowledge. It has been explained to you, children, that if anyone says anything to you about the path of devotion, you should explain to them that you are now on the path of knowledge. Only God is the ocean of knowledge. Only He can make the whole world viceless. When Bharat was viceless, the whole world was viceless. By Bharat being made viceless, the whole world becomes viceless. Bharat cannot be called a world. Bharat is only one land out of many lands in the world. You children know that there is only the land of Bharat in the New World. There must surely have been human beings living in the land of Bharat. Bharat was the land of truth. Sachkan, at the beginning of the cycle, there was only the deity religion. That is called the viceless, pure religion, Nirvikari Pavitra Dharna, which came into existence 5,000 years ago. This old world is now only going to remain for a short while longer. How many days does it take to make viceless to become? It does take time, yet do you make effort to become pure. This is the greatest festival of all. You have to make a promise. Baba, we will definitely become pure. This festival should be considered to be the greatest. Everyone calls out, O Supreme Father, Supreme Soul, O Parampita, Paramatma. Even after they say this, the Supreme Father does not enter their intellects. You understand that the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, comes to give knowledge to human souls. Souls have been separated from the Supreme Soul for a long time. Atma Paramatma Alak Rahe Abhikal. This Mela meeting takes place only at the Sangam Yuga. This meeting, which only takes place once every 5,000 years, is also called the Kumbh Mela. People have continued to celebrate many times that Mela of bathing in the waters. That belongs to the path of devotion. This is the path of knowledge. A confluence says is called a kumbh, a gathering. In fact, there are not three rivers. How can there be an incognito river of water? The Father says, it is this Gita of yours that is incognito. Therefore it is explained to you that you claim your kingdom of the word through the power of yoga. There is no singing or dancing this involved in this. The path of devotion lasts for exactly half the cycle, whereas this path of knowledge lasts for one life. And for 2 ages there is the reward of knowledge, but knowledge itself does not continue. The path of devotion continues throughout the Copper and Iron Ages. Only once do you receive knowledge, and its worst lasts for 20 onwards. It's Kit's Janam. Your eyes have now opened. Previously you were sleeping in the sleep of ignorance. Brahmin priests now tie the rakis in this festival of Raki. You two are Brahmins, they are born through sin, whereas you were born through the mouth. There is so much blind faith on that path of devotion. Andeshraddha on the path of devotion. They are trapped in quicksand. Human beings become trapped in the quicksand of devotion to such an extent that they sink into it up to their necks. Galetak, when only your top knots remain, the Father then comes once again to catch hold of you in order to rescue you. You children work very hard to explain. There are millions of people and it takes effort to go to each one. It was slandered in the newspapers, which said that you make people renounce their homes and make them into brothers and sisters. The things that happened in the beginning were spread around so much by the newspapers. Now you cannot explain to each one. Therefore, the newspapers will be of use to you later on. Your name will be glorified through the newspapers. We now have to think about how to make people understand what the real meaning of Raksha Bandhan is. Since the Father has come to purify you, he takes the promise you children make to become pure. The one purified tires a Raki on you. People celebrate the birth of Krishna, so he must surely have sat on the throne. However, they never show the coronation. Lakshmi and Narayan existed at the beginning of the Golden Age. The coronation must have taken place. They celebrate the birth of the prince, But where is the coronation? The coronation takes place at the time of Diwali. There is a great deal of splendor in the Golden Age. Barabaka in Satyug. The things of the confluence age, Sangam Yuga, do not exist there. It is here that there will be light in every home. You do not celebrate Diwali there. There the lights of soul remains ignited. There the coronation, not Diwali, will be celebrated. Souls cannot return home until the lights are ignited. All souls are now impure, and so you have to think about how to make them pure. Your children have to think about how to go to eminent people. Your children have been defamed by the newspapers, and your name will also be glorified by them. They would bring good things if you gave them a small amount of money. Now, for how long can you keep giving them money? To give money is like bribery and is against the law. Nekaida. Nowadays, nothing happens without bribery. If others give bribes and you also give bribes, there will be no difference between the two. You also see the aspect of the power of yoga. You should have so much yoga power that you can make anyone do anything. Continue to buzz knowledge to them. You also have the power of knowledge. There is knowledge in all of these pictures. Yoga is incognito. In order to claim the unlimited inheritance, you have to consider yourselves to be souls and remember the Father. This is incognito, and it is through this that you become the masters of the world. You can sit anywhere and have remembrance. While sitting here, you are not just having yoga, but deep yoga. Sadhana, knowledge and yoga are both easy. Simply take the 7 days course and that's enough. There is no need for anything more. Then you can go and make others similar to yourself. The Father is the ocean of knowledge and the ocean of peace. There are the two main aspects you are claiming your inheritance of peace from Him. Remembrance is very subtle. Your children can tour around by all means. But you do have to remember the Father. You have to become pure and imbibe divine virtues. You should not have any defects within you. Lust too is a great defect. The Father say, do not become impure now. Even if a female is in front of you, consider yourself to be a soul and remember me, your Father. Do not see them while seeing. We are remembering our Father. He is the ocean of knowledge. He is making you similar to Himself, and so you also become oceans of knowledge. You should not become confused about this. He is the Supreme Soul. He resides in the Supreme region, which is why He is called the Supreme. You also reside there. You are now taking knowledge number wise, according to the efforts you make. Those who pass with honors are said to have become full oceans of knowledge. The Father is the ocean of knowledge, and you also become in oceans of knowledge. Souls are not larger or smaller, but Riya or Jyoti. Even the Supreme Soul is not large. It has been said that he is brighter than 1,000 suns. All of those are stories. In whatever form your intellect remembers him, so you have a vision of that form. This requires understanding. Whether you have a vision of a soul or the Supreme Soul, it is the same thing. The Father has made you realize that He alone is the purifier and the ocean of knowledge. He comes at the appropriate times to grant salvation to everyone. You are the ones who have performed the most devotion, and so it is you that the Father teaches. After Raksha Bandhan, there is the festival of the birth of the Krishna, Janmashtami, and then Dashera. In fact, Krishna cannot come before Dashera. Dashera should be celebrated before Krishna's birth. You can account for this. Previously, you did not understand anything. Now the Father makes you sensible. The teacher too makes you sensible. You now understand that God's form is a point, Bindu Swarup, whereas the tree is huge. The jar is bara, souls reside up above as points, as Binti Rup. This has been explained to you, sweetest children. Actually, you should become sensible within a second. However, people have such stone intellects that they don't understand anything when in fact it should only take a second in every birth. You have had in your limited fathers, but unlimited father only comes once and gives you the inheritance for 21 births. You are now claiming the unlimited inheritance. From the unlimited father, your lifespan also becomes long. It is not that you will have the same father for 21 births. No, your lifespan becomes longer. You will not see any sorrow. Later on, this knowledge will remain in your intellects. You have to remember the father and claim your inheritance. As soon as a son is born, he becomes an heir, avarish. Now that you have recognized the father, remember the father and the inheritance and become pure. Imbibe divine virtues. The father and the inheritance are so easy. Your aim and objective are in front of you. You children now have to think of ways of explaining in the newspapers. You have to give them the picture of the Trimurti because establishment through Brahma has to be explained. The Father has come to purify Brahmins, which is why they have Iraqi tide. The purifier is purifying Bharat. He is making everyone pure because the pure world is now being established. You have now completed your 84 births. Those who have taken many births will continue to understand clearly. Those who come later on will not experience as much happiness because they would have done less devotion. The Father comes to give you the fruit of your devotion. You now understand who has performed the most devotion. You are the ones who come in the first number. You are the ones who did unadulterated devotion. Or Avya Vichari Buddhi. Ask yourself, have I done more devotion? Or has this one? Those who do the most powerful service must surely have done a lot of devotion. Baba mentioned their names. There is Kumarka, Janak, Manohar, Gudza. All are number wise. However, you cannot be made to sit here number wise. Therefore, you have to think how you can write about Raksha Bandhan in the newspapers. It is fine to go to ministers to tie a Rakhi on them. However, they do not become pure. You say become pure, and the new word can be established. You have been vicious for 63 births. Now the Father say, become pure in this final birth, in this Antim Janam, remember God, so that the sins on your head can be removed. Kura ko याद करो तुम तुम्हारे शुद्ध पुत्र बन जाएंगे अच्छा. To the sweetest beloved long lost now found children love remembrance and good morning from mata-pita Baptata. The spiritual Pita says Namaste to the spiritual children. Essence. For Dharna, in order to pass with honors, become an ocean of knowledge, Gyan Sagar, like the Father, Bab Saman. Examine yourself to see whether you have any defects. Agu, inside you and remove them. Do not see anyone's body, even while seeing it. Whilst talking to one another, have the faith that you are souls. Second, accumulate so much power of yogbal, that all your work is carried out easily. Give the message of becoming pure to everyone in the newspapers. Do the service of making others similar to yourself. Absaman, the blessing, the Vardanis, may you share Prabhu Prasad, holy food offered to God, of divine riches. Through your elevated acts and become an angel who becomes a deity. May you share Prabhu Prasad, holy food, of divine virtues, of Divya Gun, through your elevated art, Shrestha Karma, and become an angel who becomes a deity and becomes Farishta, so Devta. At the present time, whether it is souls without knowledge or Brahmin souls, both need the donation of virtues. So now, intensify this method for yourself and for the Brahmin family. These divine virtues are the most elevated Prabhu Prasad, and so share this prasad a lot, just as you give one another thali out of love. In the same way, give the thali of divine virtues. And with this method, the aim of becoming deities from angels will easily be visible in everyone. The slogan: always wear the armor of yoga, and then Maya, the enemy, will not be able to attack you. Always wear the armor of yoga, Yogrupi Kavach, and then Maya, the enemy, will not be able to attack you. Varna hi Kashakta. Om Shakti. Om Shakti.